do an exercise to kind of transition you in here to this. I want you to think about a restaurant that you absolutely love. Any restaurant, anywhere that you just like, and I want you to find a partner and tell that person about your restaurant, and then listen to your partner talk about his or her restaurant as well too. This is an important exercise. I'm not just wasting your time. This has a lot to do with what we're about to talk about. Okay, ready to go? What I want to say to you is that evangelism really ought to be like this. In its very best, it is one beggar telling the other beggar, and I didn't do the exercise at the beginning this time, I forgot, where we read about Philip and Nathaniel. You know, Jesus bumps into Philip, and Philip bumps and says to Nathaniel, "We found the one." And Nathaniel says, "Can anything good come out of Nazareth?" And Philip says, "Come and see. Just come check it out. Come check it out. Let's see what's going on here." That really, it really ought to be. And what happened to the energy in the room? Well, yeah, it went up through the roof. So, as we talk about personal evangelism, be thinking about what in your spiritual life has happened, what the high moments are, when have you felt closest to that, some of those kinds of things, and then in your church too. What's going on in your church that you could talk with that level of energy and joy and excitement and power to a perfect stranger?
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm gonna assume, all right, that you already have done this part in your congregation. That the spiritual temperature of your congregation is like really gone up, and you guys are excited. Okay. So we're gonna do a couple of exercises, and I usually begin, but I'm not going to do it this time, but asking, and the reason is that we did that thing, exercise at the beginning, and I asked at the beginning, what don't you like about evangelism? And you already answered some of those. You don't want to be confused with the Jehovah's Witnesses. You don't want to see as a fanatic. You know, you don't want to, you don't want to see as a weird person trying to sell something. People are fed up with people trying to sell you stuff, right? So we're not going to go into that, and I love that you guys even want to revisit the word evangelism. That's good. Okay, now we're going to do the first exercise that I want us to do. First of all, let's think about what good conversation starters. What are good conversation for spiritual conversation starters? What would that be? Can you tell me something? How would you get, and I want you to think about two types of people when you're one-on-one. One that you already have some kind of relationship, you started building a relationship with that person, whether because there's a crisis and you just went and just try to help or just accompany this person or whatever. You already have one relationship, but the other one is like, you just like are there. You're at the, waiting for the doctor's appointment, and you're there, and all of a sudden you see something. What kind of conversation starter that you would do with one-on-one? Now let's do the first exercise. You again turn to someone, maybe the same one that you were talking to, and share with that person a God moment in your life. You know what I mean about God moment, right? When you really felt God next to you. Okay? Go. By the way, one of the things that I want to also mention is see how powerful stories are, just like telling a story of how God worked in your life. You know, remember that the purpose of discipleship is not necessary to get a lot of butts in our pews. I mean, that's nice, and ultimately we're going to talk about that. But the purpose of disciples is to get those butts out of the pews to go out and meet Christ out there, you know, outside. And when we start, and Bishop had talked about that a long time ago, it's being outwardly focused, outside, not inside. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But sharing those stories are so important. And Christine Donahue here, raise your hand, Christine. She is our mission interpreter coordinator for the Synod. And if you don't have a mission interpreter coordinator in your congregation, you need one, and you need to talk to Christine. She will share a whole bunch of stories with you, and like, you know, in your newsletter. Really, I don't want to know when the quilt team meets on Thursday night and where and stuff like that. I want to hear what's happening in the lives of people because you are there, okay? So, we're going to do another exercise now. This one is going to be a church moment, okay? Share with your partner something that is like really exciting about your congregation or that happened to you because there was a congregation for you at a particular time. Okay, you got it? Okay? Something that is very important, connected with your church, or because you were connected with the people of God, because you were part of the body of Christ, directly, okay, directly because of the church. All right, go.